let's talk about pads and the last cut. So the last cut wasn't really designed to be the most aggressive compound in the market. I wanted it to be the most versatile. In terms of versatility, I wanted it to be able to work with all different pads, and I wanted to use it to have the ability to change a pad to increase or decrease the aggression that's needed for the job at hand. With that being said, you have a variety of pads, and you're going to be using the pad that is going to best fit the situation that you are faced with or the result that you need to achieve. So I get questions all the time about people trying to do a particular job, and they say, all right, which pad should I use? But that's not really an easy question to answer, because I don't know exactly what a paint is going to do. I don't know if it's hard paint or if it's soft paint. So a test spot is really what needs to happen before anyone can determine which combination is going to be used. So you're going to do your test spot, and based on the results from the test spot, that is going to kind of guide you in the direction that you need to go in to complete the job. For instance, if you are trying to do a one-step correction and the paint is soft, and you try a wool pad first or microfiber and you get micro marring, obviously that is too aggressive, and to achieve a one-step correction where you can get light correction or substantial correction and still finish in one step, you're going to be using a less aggressive pad. So that could either be a foam finishing pad, or it could be a foam polishing pad, or even a foam cutting pad. Whichever one you're going to need to give you the best result possible. In my experience, I've seen the best results from the foam polishing pad when I'm trying to do a one step, and that is because I can get a decent level of cut while finishing in one step, which is what you want when you're doing a one-step correction. And if you are doing a two-step correction, then depending on the hardness of the paint, if it's really hard paint, then you could possibly start with a wool pad and then do your second step with a foam polishing pad. But of course, the test spot is going to tell you if that combination is going to work, or if you need to go a little more aggressive with a heavier cut wool pad and then step it down with even a foam cutting pad. Your test spot is going to be the one that's going to determine which direction you need to go and which pad choice you will need to use to get the most out of it. So if you don't know the levels of aggression, your foam finishing pad is going to be the least aggressive method. Then you have your foam polishing pad, which is going to be the second most aggressive. Then your foam cutting pad, and then your microfiber pad. So I have two versions of that, the 3.5 inch cut pad and also the 5.5. Then you can step it up to your wool pad, and this particular wool pad has your foam backing. So if you are working with a vehicle with a lot of contours, a lot of curves in the panels, then your foam backing is going to help with those contours to keep your pad on the paint, giving you a little bit of flex. And to me, is the best option if you need to go, aggressive but have a lot of curves. So your wool pad is going to be, the choice for that. And if you just need a little more bite, if the foam backing wool pad isn't enough for you, then you have your low profile extra cut wool pad, and that is going to give you the most aggression. But if you do have a lot of contours, then this could be a little bit harder to use, because you're virtually on the backing plate, and all the flex you're going to have is going to be in the backing plate itself. So if you have a rigid backing plate, then you won't have very much room to contour. So this may not be the best choice if you have something that is really curvy, but it will give you the most aggression with the last cut. So you have different options for pads, and with the versatility, the last cut will work with each and every one of them, but you will have to do a test spot to see exactly which combination you will be using. So one of the biggest mistakes we can make as a detailer is to think a particular pad is always tied to a specific process. So never think that a foam finishing pad is always the best choice for finishing paint. If your paint is on the softer side, then yes, that may be the best option. However, if your paint is on the harder side, you may even have to use a foam cutting pad to finish it out. And I've even seen sometimes where the paint is hard enough to where you can finish it out with a wool pad. So working and inspecting your finish after you're done is going to be the best teacher to tell you exactly what you need to do and what process you need to do to get the best result from the paint that you're working on. So open your mind, do your test, and pay attention to the test that you're doing, and pay attention to the result that you're getting from your test to determine which direction you need to go in to get the most out of your paint.